fast.
You're gonna talk fast.
Absolutely.
But Kelly, Kelly is you're the owner and principal of
CEO, founder,
CEO,
owner,
everything.
all the wearing hats for the K Factor Enterprises,
So you can
which
talk
is
through
a
it.
marketing, branding, public relations, digital strategy. I can look at a website and see where it should be going and making sure that everything is consistent across the board when it comes to your digital footprint. So, without further ado, I'm going to hand you each one of these papers and keep it face down. Okay, and what we're going to do to start this off, no, it's not a test, well maybe, is for 2013, Happy New Year everybody, and thank you Brenda for having me here. I'm so excited. I think I'm going to leave this room high with all of the wonderful women here. Is 2013, one personal goal and one professional goal on the back of this paper. And I'm not taking these with me, these are for you. Okay. Is this exciting? I'm not one for resolutions, but I think it. See, how did I know there was going to be 10 women here today? That's all I printed. I tell you.
Didn't know.
Thanks, Brenda.
Can see into the future. Good to know.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. You're welcome. So one of the things that is becoming quite clear in today's technology is that every single day there's changes to social media. Every single day there's a new way to finagle your business, a new way to network without ever seeing a person, a new way to acquire information about others and do your due diligence out there to see if in fact you want to be connected. And one of the goals that when I work with clients, I try to instill in them is don't be shy, but be smart. Okay? So how many people in the room have a LinkedIn profile? Good. And how many of those LinkedIn profiles are connected to other social media? So it feeds down, and it feeds Facebook, Twitter, or Facebook feeds too. Is everybody connected that way? Yeah. Okay. So
I didn't know that. I mean, I tried to. Is it possible to link in LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter?
It
I thought
used
there was
to-
like some.
It used to be. It used to be possible to where you could post one place and it would feed through. It's not possible. 11.
Like into a personal Facebook account?
No, I'll get to that. It's just trying to find out where trying to find out where everybody is social media wise and how much knowledge is in the room and in a short amount of time where I can go when it comes to speaking with all of you. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Good morning. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself? That's what we were doing prior to coming in.
Oh, okay.
The elevator speech, I think is what it was called. Okay.
The elevator, well, my name is Angie, I'm with Resource, we're a West Coast division and also MSU. So we definitely supply all the different Home Depot and Lowe's. But definitely here and interested to see what you guys have to offer, so.
I'm Kelly, and I'm the speaker for the day. And then everybody else, there's 3 members, I believe, right here.
Okay.
These 3. And then everybody else is enthusiastically thinking about becoming a member, I can tell. If you flip that paper over, then on the back, I just asked everybody to write down a personal and a professional goal for 2013. Okay. Who gave their paper away? I'll shoot off that one. And so as I was speaking about the social media aspect of the website, the one thing that is extremely important, it doesn't matter what your business is, how many businesses you have, your logo and your key colors, consistent across the board. And it means everything from anything in print, any email that you sent out that has your signature, any brochures, any trade show, trade show banners, anything like that. So logo is key, colors are key, because colors change, right? When you go from some printers or even across someone's screen, okay? So logos are key. I'm trying to, what time do you have to be out of here?
It's we said 9:30,
But we can talk
but a little longer.
Okay, I'll do something else. All right, so your logo is key. Now, one thing that I say to people, and they have a hard time understanding this, is when it comes to Facebook or any social media, if it's personal and you don't become friends, I'm gonna say it like this, don't become friends with somebody if you wouldn't have them over your house for dinner. That's it, okay? And the reason why is because making your life so convoluted with so many different people that you don't know, even by name, you can't transfer that into business, right? Does that make sense? So you want people out there that are your fans and your friends to be able to act as a networking, have the networking capabilities that we would do if we went to a cocktail party. Does that make sense? Okay. When it comes to the link, okay, you can flip your pages over. Sorry. When you flip your pages over, my business card is attached to the top. This is one, I gave you this poem, it is so close to my heart, and I look at it almost every single day, and it really, on those days, as women or as men, but this group of women, it's a motivating factor. It reminds us how important we are to anybody's life that we touch and to our own. And so I wanted to give you that part of inspiration, motivation, an affirmation. Okay? I'll let you read it. The next page will look familiar to everybody in the room because everyone raised their hand when they said that they had a LinkedIn profile. Inside of your LinkedIn profile is almost every single other social media attribute. So if you were to fill this out in full, you would notice that you can populate your Twitter, you can populate your profiles, populate your Twitter, your business Facebook page, as well as Google+, which is Google+ and YouTube are becoming, and on any given day, the two largest search engines. They own each other, right? That's important. But if somebody's going to search out your name, they're going to find it on Google+ and YouTube first. So if you don't have a YouTube, even especially for the ones that are in mediation or the ones that own any sort of business, because you can get on there and you can say, hi, welcome, or walk somebody through, any one of your properties, or sit there and discuss what it is that is your specialty, knowing full well that you have a target audience. So Google+, which is kind of different, well, it's different for me, I have a really hard time keeping up with it, but because I do all the other ones. Google+ and YouTube. And then when it comes to Facebook, a lot of people say that they've created a business page on Facebook when what they've created is a business place. And so they go in, they put in the name of their business. It doesn't have a logo or anything. It shows up with, I think it's a little transparent looking house or building, and it acts as a yellow page, the yellow pages would have. And the goal is for you to create your Facebook business page in order to have a placeholder when it comes to search engines. It's not something that you need to constantly populate, you don't need to dialogue with anybody. But
Do you even need to have people like it?
you
Right?
should get up to 25. There's a lot of changes that can be made within your business page if you get to 25 people.
So are you saying that people are finding your business place through Internet Explorer because it's listed on Facebook? That's how they'll find it?
Yes, yes. And I'll give you an example. I have a range of clients, everything from Christian authors to opera singers to, we just took on a workers' compensation company that has not done anything in the industry. In their industry, when it comes to their profile, their online profile, since 2006. And the reason for this company doing that was he wanted to fly underneath the radar so his clients would not be able to find him, but yet he would still have the business coming in. And I told him, crisis control is so easy why wouldn't you want to get your platforms, you know, your foundation set out there and be able to take on the paying clients, you know, paying vendors, and then not worry about the clients that, you know, are filing claims and such. And so what I found out in doing this is that he was worried that people would be able to search for him, and in doing that, he didn't want any profiles up, not even his LinkedIn. And it's taken, 4.5 months of convincing him and proving with data. And that is another, that just made me think of something else. On the back side of everyone's website, you should always have your Google Analytics, and that way you can watch your traffic, where it's coming from, how many clicks on each page, which pages people are gravitating for, and then what you can do is you can take and you can dictate by what you do in social media where you want the traffic to go. So whatever your call to action is.
Can I ask you a question about this new thing I found? Because the conversation professionally that I've been having is a website versus web presence and the difference and the need for a website with these tabs and these analytics versus a web presence. So someone can find your phone number or find where you went to college or whatever it is. Have you heard of this extension? It's About Me or About.me?
Yes.
And
Somebody
so it's
has
just
asked me
a
about it.
page.
It's just a splash page. It's just
Splash page.
right. It's just a one pager. It's kind of like handing somebody, you know.
And so what are your thoughts on how that fits into this picture?
I am a big fan of giving people a little bit more information that would entice them to look a little further. On a one page, can they contact you, or do they have to call you? Can they contact you via email? Does it show up on the any of the smartphones? This one page, and because what you want is the call to action that I was talking before. You want the payoff at the end, and the payoff at the end for you is business, right, and more contacts. A 2-page, I'd say yes, because you have the contact form in there, not just like, you know, opening up the yellow pages and looking for the address and phone number, giving more information and enticing somebody. Now, the difference between a website and a web presence, right? A web presence is across the board when it comes to social media, your digital footprint, being able to, you figure it takes 6 weeks to aggregate. So if you were to have a website put up today, that's 6 weeks before it'll start to pop up in the search engines, unless you search the name specifically. And so you want to be able to take any aspect of social media, even Twitter for those that are not into Twitter, even Twitter, and just creating your online profile. And it shows up in all the search engines after 6 weeks, and if they're connected, so on your one page, at the bottom of all the websites that we do, and it's not, you know, creating a website is pretty easy nowadays, but it's making sure that you have all the pertinent information for people inside of that website according to what the client wants. At the bottom is all the social media, a direct link to where anybody can find you. And what that does is creates a better interest when it comes to your web presence. Okay.
Better interest.
A better interest. So these search engines, it doesn't matter who it is, Internet Explorer, Mozilla, Chrome, it doesn't matter.
If you have more, it's finding you.
Right, because it's labeled. It's labeled at the bottom. It's if I have a Twitter at the bottom of the K-Factor Enterprises, it's my K-Factor Twitter. And so it has a tag within it that will start
Helps
to populate.
Be found. Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Does that
okay.
make sense?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's say you have 0.
Okay.
And you have no money.
Uh-huh.
What do you recommend would be the first and best way to get out there?
That you and I have
Easiest.
coffee.
Let's say we're not even talking about me. This
Right.
is hypothetical in general. I mean, you know, I mean, I have some kind of LinkedIn, or, I mean, I have stuff, but
Right.
it's scattered. So,
I would go on and I would watch a YouTube tutorial or a Facebook tutorial and watch one of these videos to start to get you familiar with the lingo, the process, and the amount of time that it takes to fill out one of these profiles. And that's why the sheet, the second sheet that is underneath the Marianne Williamson, if you were to fill that out, type it out, or however you want to do it, that would help you populate all of your profiles. So I would start with just doing the online, doing the Facebook profile, the Twitter, the YouTube, and just start with the basics.
so you're saying Facebook and YouTube?
Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn would be the preference. because it is the
That's
business,
my
right.
Right.
And so LinkedIn is not like your Facebook, right, a Facebook personal page. LinkedIn is complete businesses. You can, inside of LinkedIn now, and they make changes probably twice a week. Facebook is making changes, I would say almost every other day. And Scott and I work a lot together. He owns a company called Capone Strategies. I've learned so much. He is my better half. I've learned so much about the way that the internet has come about and who originally was the pioneer, and it was MySpace, and it was a long time ago. And you figure in the late 90s all of this came about. So the changes that are happening are something that we have to keep up on every single day. And because of the beta aspect where you get the knowledge before the general public, we're 2 to 3 months ahead of the general public when it comes to the things you can do. Inside of LinkedIn, you can not only connect and become part of groups for where you graduated, or other interests that you have, or the WCOE, you can attach yourself without feeling like anybody needs to come over for a cup of coffee to your house or a cocktail party, right? You can attach yourself to like-minded individuals. And then, as you know, when like-minded individuals, it's the 6 degrees of separation, or however it is that you look at it, to get you to the next place, to get you that next client, to find another mentor, to link people together. So LinkedIn for Business is my preference. Okay, yes?
One of the hot topics in LinkedIn these days is recommendations.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that? I'm getting all these emails saying you've been recommended.
I get it
you've been recommended.
And you know what? You know what LinkedIn did that was brilliant? This is classic. It used to be that, tooting your own horn. Who said that?
I did.
Yes, and it is. You have to be able to be your own best friend, right? It's the way most of us were taught: be your own best friend, and then you can be somebody else's. It used to be that you would ask a client, and you would say to them, "It's been such a great pleasure working with you. I would love it if you could recommend me. Could you type something out?" Well, then you get those people that say, "Well, why don't you write it and I'll just write my name to it," right? What LinkedIn came up with, and I found out the hard way. One day I clicked, in the top left-hand corner, when you open it up, there's all these people, right? Can you recommend so-and-so? If you click on one of those X's, too many, it recommends them for every single skill that they've inputted into LinkedIn, as opposed to the specific skill that you might know them as. So recommendations are really important. I think something's going to happen though, because there's not a balance right now. You can click on it and recommend anybody, at the drop of a hat, as opposed to putting forth a little time. So
Maybe they're not as valuable as you might think.
They're not.
Because they're.
I'm dreadfully embarrassed right now. Somehow interior design is coming up online, and like 3 or 4 people have recommended me from my past. I don't do that. Like, I'm an architect, I do outside. And I keep getting recommended for it, and now I'm like, the one thing.
Take it
How do I
off,
get rid of it?
take it off of your list
You're gonna have
of
to take it
skills.
go inside of your account settings and into your skill
It's
area.
sad.
I mean,
That's
maybe
the only thing I get
it's a
recommended
side
for.
business now. You
Never
never
get
get
it out. Maybe this is something telling you that you need to do something.
The general population wants me to become.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's pretty cute. The other thing that's important with LinkedIn is a lot of people don't create their business profile on LinkedIn. And you really want to do that. All you have to do is inside. Does everybody in here have a business profile on LinkedIn?
What is it, different than your profile?
Yes, yes.
Oh.
Yes. Okay, so if you go up to the top of the LinkedIn, this is just like a visual for you, and it says companies. Okay, you've already put in where you work or the business that you own, your title and everything. You go up to the top where it says companies, and then you look for your own company. It's not going to be there. Then you can create your own. Okay, you can create your own company. Then what you want to do is make sure that, as with Facebook, the business page, that you get people to start following you, and hopefully it would be your own employees. You want them to, because they work for you, you want them to go in and to find your business under companies and to follow. You're only following on LinkedIn. And then what you can do is, as I did with mine, is I said I was speaking here today. And so I know that in 6 weeks, as well as my Facebook business page, I put that I was speaking, because my goal is to promote you. And if I can promote you by putting in your WCOE logo and saying that I was speaking here, well, it benefits me, at some extent. But it also comes up in the search engines that this is your first Los Angeles meeting. And so if you have a business page on Facebook and or LinkedIn, go in and put that you were here today, say a little bit of something about it, make sure that you capture the WCOE. I keep saying, because I had an EO at this, I was like EIEIO. Anyways, capture the logo, and if you can put that inside of your profiles. And I know some of you, this is Greek, right? I know. And we can all talk on the way to the car. Okay, so let me, Twitter is something that the hashtag, the @ symbol, and it becomes important if you have the time in your day to have your smartphone with you and just hashtag WCOE or hashtag your business. Hashtag, it directs, it's the pound sign. And it directs people to that specific word. So if the word is, I ate brownies for breakfast, and somebody has already put that in Twitter, it'll populate I ate brownies for breakfast, or it'll pick it out inside of someone's paragraph. But WCOE would bring up the company, right? The organization WCOE. Does it make sense?
Where does the hashtag get picked up from, just Twitter?
Yes. Yes. No?
All over. Google.
Oh, Google Plus.
Google.
Google, and it'll pick out a hashtag? Look at
I
me.
know, like in Instagram, I see the hashtags on Instagram.
It's
Right.
a keyword, it's calling it a keyword, right?
Yes, it's calling it a keyword, which you just made me, I was gonna tell you something else. Keep going.
No, I
With
just
your
see,
Twitter.
some hashtags for all kinds of different native
Right.
names, and I didn't know if they were just cute or if they were actually doing something.
Okay.
I know, but where would
Waiting
they
for
go?
people waiting for a lot of
One thing I want to mention real quick while you all are getting your belongings together is that inside of anything that you do online, if it's a picture or if it's a logo, you want to make sure that you name it what it is. So if it is Brenda's business logo that and it has to do with the law firm, that she names it all the way out, because those are called alt tags and they can be picked up by search engines. IMG_260.jpg
Yes,
is
right.
right, okay? And so that is not searchable, the IMG underscore. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, thank you.